In the previous chapter, we have studied about the Vedic civilization. Today, in chapter 5, religious trends in ancient India, we are going to study about the changes that took place at the end of the Vedic period. Trends means a general change or development towards something new or different. So let's see the changes which took place in ancient India. Society towards the end of the Vedic period. Towards the end of the Vedic period, the minute details of yajna rites acquired inappropriate importance. Only the priestly class had knowledge of those details. Others had no freedom to gain that knowledge. The Varna system restrictions became very hard in the course of time. A person's social position was decided by the Varna, that is caste, and not by his achievements. That is why, from the Upanishad period, we see that attempts were made to give a wider scope to religious thought and not restrict it only to yajna rites. The ancient trend of thought known as Lokyat or Charvak is also important. It emphasized independent thought and rejected the authority of the Vedas. In the ancient period, new religious trends and thoughts went on emerging in India. Emergence of new sects. However, the thought in Upanishads focused on the existence and nature of the soul. It was difficult for ordinary people to understand it. This gave rise to different sects that emphasized the worship of particular deities. For example, the Shaiva sect of Shiva worshippers and the Vaishnav sect of the worshippers of Vishnu. Different Puranas were written with reference to these deities. Vardhaman Mahavir, BC 599 to BC 527. Jainism is one of the ancient religions in India. This religion gives importance to the principle of non-violence. According to the Jain tradition, a person who reveals religious knowledge is known as Tirthankar. There have been 24 Tirthankars in all. Vardhaman Mahavir is the 24th Tirthankar in the Jain religious tradition. There was a Mahajanpath known as Riji in what is known as the state of Bihar today. Its capital was Vaishali. Vardhaman Mahavir was born in Kundagram, a part of Vaishali. His father's name was Siddharth and mother's Trishala. Vardhaman Mahavir left his home and all comforts for the attainment of knowledge. He attained enlightenment after 12 and a half years of rigorous tap. Rigorous means extremely true and careful. This knowledge was pure or Keval. Therefore, he is also known as Kevali. He was called Jina or conqueror because the joy derived from physical comforts and the discomfort felt due to undesired things had no impact whatsoever on him. The term Jain derives from the word Jina. Vardhaman is said to be Mahavir because he had the resilience, the courage to conquer all passions. After the attainment of knowledge, he preached for about 30 years to explain the essence of religion to people. To make it easy for people to understand it, he spoke to them in Ardhamagdi, a people's language. The religion that he expounded laid stress on good conduct. That is the teachings of Vardhaman Mahavir. The five great vows or five precepts. The Pancha Mahavrats. The five great vows. These are five rules to be followed strictly. First, ahimsa, that is non-violence. No living being should be hurt, injured, or harmed through one's behavior. That is, we should not harm anyone by our behavior. Second, satya, that is truth. Every speech and action should be true. We should speak truth. Third, astya, that is non-stealing. Astya means theft. Taking what belongs to others without their consent is theft or stealing. Astya means not stealing anything. Fourth, aparigraha, that is non-attachment. Man tends to accumulate property due to greed. Aparigraha means not hoarding or accumulating anything in this way. Fifth, brahmacharya, that is chastity. It means living bodily pleasures and following the vows. Three Ratna or the three jewels. The three jewels are the three principles, that is Samayak Darshan, right faith, Samayak Jnana, right knowledge, and Samayak Charitra, right conduct. Samayak means balanced. First, Samayak Darshan, to understand the truth in the preaching of the Tirthankar and to have faith in it. Second, Samayak Jnana, studying the preaching and philosophy of the Tirthankar regularly and learning its deep meaning. Third, Samayak Charitra, strictly following the five great vows. Vardhaman Mahavir taught the people that the greatness of man does not depend on his varna, that is on his caste, but on his excellent conduct, that is his behavior. In the Vedic tradition, the doors of knowledge had slowly been closed to women. But Vardhaman Mahavir gave the right to sannyas, that is the right to renounce the world, to women too. His teachings were love all living things, have mercy and compassion, and live and let live. Gautam Buddha, BC 563 to BC 483. Buddhism spread in India and in many countries outside India. Gautam Buddha was the founder of Buddhism. Gautam Buddha was born at Lumbini in Nepal. His father's name was Shuddhodhan and mother's Maya Devi. His birth name was Siddharth. He had attained knowledge of human life in its entirety. That is why he came to be known as Gautam Buddha. He wanted to know why there is sorrow and suffering in human life. He left his home and all comforts in pursuit of the answer to this question. On Vaishakha Purnima, he was sitting in deep meditation under a peepal tree at Uruvela near the city of Gaya in Bihar. That is when he attained Bodhi, enlightenment or the highest knowledge. The tree is now known as the Bodhi tree or Bodhi Vriksh, and the place Uruvela is known as Bodh Gaya. He delivered his first sermon at Sarnath near Varanasi. Sermon means a talk on religion. His teachings in the first sermon are termed Dhamma. He set in motion the wheel of Dhamma in this sermon. Therefore, this event is called Dhamma Chakra Pravartan in Pali and Dharma Chakra Pravartan in Sanskrit. Later, he travelled on foot, that is Charika, for nearly 45 years to preach Dhamma. He preached in the people's language Pali. In Buddhism, the concept of taking refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha is important. It is known as Trisharan. Astyas or noble truths. There are four truths at the root of all human affairs. They are called as noble truths or Arya Satyas. Bauddha Sangha. He created a Sangha of bhikkhus to preach his religion. Followers who gave up their domestic life and entered the Sangha were called bhikkhus. They too travelled on foot like the Buddha to preach Dhamma to the people. There was a separate Sangha of women. They are called bhikkhunis. People of all varnas and caste could embrace Buddhism. Teachings of Gautam Buddha. There are four truths at the root of the human affairs, and they are: first, dukkha, suffering. There is suffering in human life. Second, the cause of dukkha. There is a cause of suffering. Third, dukkha nivaran. It is possible to end suffering. Fourth, pratipad. Pratipad means the way. This way leads to the end of suffering. This is the way of good conduct. It is known as the Ashtangic or Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path. First, right view, the knowledge of the Four Noble Truths. Second, right resolve, giving up cruelty. Third, right speech, refrain from telling lies, telling tales, rude, harsh, and meaningless speech. Fourth, right conduct, stay away from killing animals, stealing, and uncontrolled behavior. Fifth, right livelihood, using only the proper means of livelihood. Sixth, right effort, making effort to avoid wrong acts, giving up wrong acts, undertaking and maintaining good acts. 7. Right mindfulness, being mindful to remove passions and concentrating on trying to understand one's own feelings and mind. 8. Right concentration, experiencing deep meditation with concentration. Panchashil. Gautam Buddha asked people to follow 5 rules. The rules are called Panchashil. First, stay away from killing animals. Stay away from stealing. Stay away from unethical conduct that is not morally correct. Stay away from telling lies. Stay away from intoxicants. Gautam Buddha announced the freedom of human intelligence. He preached that, like men, women too had the right to their own upliftment. He opposed the rituals of yajna. His teachings of wisdom, moral virtue, and other values are aimed at the welfare of man. Compassion for all living beings was an extraordinary feature of his personality. Later on, religions like Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Zoroastrianism also took root in the Indian society. Judaism. People belonging to the Jewish religion may have arrived in Kochi in Kerala around the 1st to 3rd century of the Christian era. They believe that there is only one God. Judaism emphasizes justice, truth, peace, love, compassion, humility, charity, ethical speech, and self-respect. The prayer house is known as synagogue. Christianity. Christianity is a religion founded by Jesus Christ. It has spread all over the world. Saint Thomas, one of the 12 disciples of Christ, came to Kerala in the 1st century. He established a church at Pelayur in Trichur district. According to the teaching of Christianity, there is only one God. He is the loving Father of all and is omnipotent, means having unlimited power. It is believed that Jesus Christ is the Son of God who came to the earth for the salvation of mankind. According to the teachings of Christianity, we are all brothers and sisters. We should love everyone, including our enemies. We should forgive those who err or go wrong. The Bible is the holy book of Christianity, and the prayer house is known as a church. Islam. Islam is a monotheistic religion. That is, there is only one God. There is only one Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. The message of God is revealed through him in the holy book of Quran Sharif. The word Islam means peace. It also means surrender to Allah. The teaching of Islam is that Allah is eternal, absolute, all-powerful, and merciful. The purpose of human existence is to worship Allah. The Quran Sharif provides guidance on how man should behave in life. Since ancient times, there have been trade relations between India and Arabia. Arab traders used to visit the ports on the coast of Kerala. Islam arrived in India through the Arab traders. The prayer house of Islam is known as a mosque or masjid. Zoroastrianism. Since ancient times, the Zoroastrian people and Vedic people have shared ties. The sacred text of the Parsi or Zoroastrian people is the Avesta. The language of the Rig Veda and Avesta is similar. The Parsis came to India from the Pars or Fars province of Iran. Therefore, they are known as Parsis. Zarathustra was the founder of their religion. Ahura Mazda is the name of their god. The elements of fire and water are very important in their religion. The sacred fire burns in the temples, which are known as agyaris. It is believed that they first came to Gujarat in the 8th century AD. At the core of Parsi thinking are three main principles of conduct, namely good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Thank you for watching the video.